What did you see for everybody today?
Well, we had, two very good guards in Kemba Walker, who had a fantastic college season. Jacob Pullen from Kansas State, who in his junior year had a great season. I think especially today, Walker showed very good passing ability. I think everyone knows he's a good scorer from his college career, his college stats. But I think most impressive today was his passing ability. Pullen, very feisty competitor, made him work very hard there. Had good guard today, Marcus Simmons, Defensive Player of the Year for the Pac-10 this past season, an area that we need to strengthen our team in. And we had a little international flavor in Will Graves, who played 3 years at North Carolina, and this past season he played in Japan.
There's some thought that Walker's a bit of a tweener between a pure point guard and a shooting guard. Did you see the elements that would make him a good point guard today?
Well, as I said before, I was very impressed today with his passing ability. I think the situation called on him to be more of a scorer this year for the Connecticut team. They did not have great scoring punch. He was basically the first and second option they had on their team. And I think he's a versatile enough guard that he can do both, and especially scoring the ball.
But do you see him as a true one, or in that case?
True 1-1-2. I think he's going to have the ball in his hand most of the time, and I think he definitely has the capability to be a true point guard.
Is there any concern about his size?
That's always a concern. He measured out 6'1" in Chicago. The bigger the guard, the better usually, but I think he's got enough quickness, he's got enough savvy, and I think he's got definitely enough basketball experience that he knows how to play with his size, get his shot off, and still get the ball to the open man.
Is the player being a true one as important today as it used to be? The way the game's changing, the guards are kind of...
Well, I think the definition of a point guard now is a little bit different because you see more and more point guards higher digits in scoring rather than assist. I don't know if I'm the one to define what a true point guard is or not, but I definitely see more points coming from the point guard than you say 10 years ago.
You have two highly touted guards in today, but obviously different sessions. How frustrating is it that you can't see them go one-on-one?
I don't know if it's frustrating. It's part of the system. It was a scheduling type thing. One's got another commitment afterwards, another one's got another one come in, and that's just how it goes.
Jim, when you're talking about the guards, how much do you look at what you already have, though? And it would obviously create quite the log jam, and it would thus, I would assume, create another move or another roster move that would have to be made to accommodate another point guard.
Well, clearly we didn't have the season that we wanted to last year, and I think at this point, and especially when we're in the top part of the draft at number 5, we're looking for the best possible player, and there happens to be a number of very good point guards there, and we'll have to make decisions as we go if we go in that direction.
Who could you compare Kemba to? Maybe a player that you've seen come through this process, or maybe who's in the NBA right now? Who would you compare him to?
That's a good question there. He's a little bit unique in that he scores the ball so well, and he does have the ability to pass the ball there. I really don't like to put comparisons on them because then that sort of sticks with them all the time, and if their game changes a little bit, it's a little bit of an unfair comparison.
Can you describe the unique challenges of this draft in terms of obviously not having much to work with on some of these guys? Cantor having not seen play all year, and some of the Europeans who are somewhat limited.
Yeah, I don't know if we've seen the Europeans play. Cantor was a little bit of a unique situation in that he had to sit the year out. I think the Europeans we have a pretty good background on, but you probably won't get, because of their playoff schedule, you won't get as much what's called individual workouts as before. But I think each draft is uniquely different, and sometimes you have to take a little bit more research and a little bit more into what you did in the last 2 or 3 years rather than what you saw in the last 2 or 3 months.
Can you comment on what you saw from Cantor yesterday?
Big, strong, physical player. He shot the ball fairly well yesterday, and someone asked, is he a true 5? I couldn't really tell yesterday because he shot the ball so well from face-up position. Yet he's strong enough that he can pound people inside.
How tough is it to pull the trigger on somebody like that, hypothetically, based on the amount you've seen him?
Well, that's why we're trying to get as much knowledge right now as we possibly can, because we didn't have the situation this year that you can go see him play 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times.
Was that an individual workout with him yesterday?
Yes, it was.
So you guys were the only team there, or was there
Yes.
help in-
I think today he's with Cleveland, and I think tomorrow he's with Minnesota.
Is there a reason he's not doing the circuit, like people are coming to him as opposed to...
I don't know. Sometimes it breaks down that way. I think he took one trip. 3 other people are coming to Chicago. That's just the way it's breaking down.
There seems to be fewer of these dates here this year, only 4 planned. end. Is there any reason for that? Or?
Well, I think at number 5, number 1, our numbers are down a little bit, and we don't have a second-round pick right now. Number 2, it seems that people around our range, we have a number of international players that are still involved in playing overseas. So I think you combine those two, and our workout dates are a little bit shorter.
Speaking of that, do you?
Does Kemba have yet legitimate NBA three-point range?
I think so. I think so.
Is Kemba someone who should start or needs to start on his first year in the league?
Oh, boy, that's a tough question. Should or need to start? I'm sure he wants to start. I think a lot will depend on the team that drafts him and the makeup of the team and how he develops.
How accurate of an assessment can you really get of his passing skill in a workout like this as opposed to a game situation?
I think in this type of setting, you get an idea. I mean, if you have a bad workout here, that shouldn't knock you out of the box. If you have a great workout here, that shouldn't project you to the top. None of these players here is like a one-time look. We've seen them all numerous times, and I think it just adds up to the big picture if we're going to take them or if we're not going to take them. In this situation, we were able to put them in some situations that maybe we can control, maybe with the high pick and roll, maybe with the man coming off the down screen. You can't always do that in a game situation.
What will you be doing with Ren tonight? Would you put him through the same workout?
We're basically the same type of workout here.
Just so you can kind of get a direct comparison.
Mhm.
Keep stats there?
We keep stats on everything here. We keep stats, we keep videos, we review the stats. We have the stats from 15 years ago when we had workouts here.
No
So.
way they're working out against each other, but
Yeah, we always judge in the past. And then sometimes you say, well, if he had a bad day shooting here, but he was a 45% three-point shooter, what's going to be more important? His bad shooting day here or his career percentage of 45% from three?
did you try to get Brandon and Kemba to work out together?
We just tried to get them on the same day, and if the schedule allowed it, it did. And this is the way it worked out.
Did you ask their people, would you guys work in this workout at the same time?
We just asked them if they'd come on this day, and one had a commitment, so they had to leave early, so this is the way it's gone.
Who had to leave early?
Kemba went first, so he's out of here.
Do you have any plans to see Biombo? I don't know if he'll be.
Yeah, we'll see them over next week in Europe.
Okay.